Right. Hi. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. My name is Abir Faraon, and this is the Rebuilding Gaza event. We are launching Mothers of Hind, a new charitable project being established in the UK by a group of mothers, and I will explain and I will introduce that to you. Today is the 1st of February, and this is our website, and welcome to all of you in this meeting. Before we start, I'm just going to say that this call is going to be recorded. If you wish to switch your camera, please do. Otherwise, we assume that you allow us to use the video on our website and social media if you kept your video on. Also, our program is going to commence with some introductions and then followed by speaker sessions. The questions and answers will be taken after the speaker's session. And I ask if you could please stay muted and raise your hand if you've got any questions towards the end of the session. The chat will stay open during the whole of the meeting, so you can send our any questions during that, and my colleagues here are going to collect that, and at the end we will be answering these questions. Before we start, we have a poem for Hind, whom we have named the organization after, Hind Rajab. And I'm going to ask our wonderful Dana Abu Qamar, the great Manchester University students who fought for her visa and managed to get that in the UK here. And I'm going to ask her to read this poem for our dear Hind.
They were the angels of dawn and the martyrs of dusk, little dreamers spreading love and giggles beyond a tyrant's border. They were many, and then they became one. She was called Hind, and her eyes were full, and her eyes were those of Athena with a heart full of light. Soon came the dark, and embraced her like a grim reaper. The wreath on her hair flew to heaven, yet her soul haunts the place, echoing from a distance to the children, hiding in fear and seeking peace.
Thank you very much, Dana. A couple of days ago, it was the 29th of January, which was the first anniversary of the tragic murder of Hind Rajab and her family in Gaza. And we say we will never forget you, Hind. We will never forget more than 60,000 innocent lives, including 17,000 children killed in Gaza by the Israeli forces. We have issued a statement, and we can send you the statement. It is available on our social media and website. This is Hind Rajab, a 6-year-old girl who was full of life and was playing and with her little brother Iyad, with her family. She appealed for help, and she said, "Come and help me." And we are answering that call for help, and we are initiating Mothers of Hind in Hind's legacy and Hind's name, to keep her name live everywhere around the world, to keep her story and the story of the children of Gaza alive, and those that have been deprived basic rights of life, education, and living in peace. We love you, Hind, and we love you, everyone in Gaza. And I ask everyone in this meeting to have a 1-minute silence, remembering the children and those innocent lives in Gaza. If you have prayers and you've got in any faith or no faith, please read those prayers in this 1 minute. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. I'm going to start with an introductory video before we introduce ourselves.
Mothers of Hind is named in honor of Hind Rajab, a 5-year-old Palestinian girl whose future was stolen away from her in the most brutal way, leaving behind only the echoes of her desperate pleas. Hind's heartbreaking story reminds us of the thousands of children who are denied their right to safety, education, and even life itself. It is her legacy and the legacy of so many like her that drives our mission at Mothers of Hind.
Thank you very much. Just check the sound. Right, so let me introduce myself. I am Abir Faron. I am a proud Palestinian and lived in Jordan. I am also Jordanian. I am from Jerusalem initially. I lived in the UK for the past 26 years. I am an associate professor at the business school in Manchester Metropolitan University. And I have a PhD in change management and innovation culture from Loughborough University, master's in operations management from the University of Nottingham, and bachelor degree in industrial engineering from the University of Jordan. I am a consultant, academic, and advocate of social justice and the rights of Palestinians. I'm also a Lego series play facilitator and used it in refugee camps in Palestine and refugee camps in Jordan, and also Lumina Learning psychometric practitioner. I founded ASIL, which is the Arab Center for Entrepreneurship, Innovation and Leadership in the UK, and used my expertise to transfer knowledge and support the Palestinians inside Palestine and refugee camps elsewhere. I'm a chair trustee of other youth and personal development charities and a mother of 3 living in Manchester. So thank you very much for joining us. I'm going to move now to my colleague, Caroline. Let me just start the presentation. Caroline?
Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name is Caroline Evers. I'm a marketing professional with many, many years of experience in business and academia. And I'm currently working, I'm a colleague with Abir. I'm a senior lecturer at Manchester Metropolitan University, where I work with many levels of business management students. I was born in Jerusalem and into an Irish UN family, where I grew up and spent most of my young life up to the age of 18 when we moved back to Ireland. I maintain strong ties with Palestine, and I'm really proud to be a founding member of the Mothers of Hind. As an educator, I'm committed to working in solidarity with local organizations and supporting their efforts to rebuild an education system to provide all the young people and families and communities with the resources needed to fulfill their plans for the future.
Thank you very much, Caroline.
Thank you.
I'm going to call Emily. Emily, are you there? Could unmute, please, Emily?
Yes, apologies. I'm having trouble with my computer, and so having to do this on my phone. But yes, I am Emily Rauschenberger. I work in education, have so for 20-some years. I started out as a teacher and then eventually gained my PhD in education policy, originally from the US, but have lived in Manchester about 20 years. My husband's Palestinian from Gaza, and We moved to Gaza in 2023 to be closer with family, and were caught, of course, in the war in the fall of 2023. So we came back to the UK. My 5 children, all, Palestinian now with a passion, and, have struggled to kind of resettle again after a few years abroad. But I joined the Mothers of Hind, founding the Mothers of Hind, because, the need abroad in Gaza and elsewhere in conflict areas is so great. A lot of my research is on education and emergencies in Jordan and Lebanon. And I wanted to be able to support those struggling in Gaza, including our own family. So it's really a personal connection and passion for me.
Thank you very much, Emily. Thank you very much for that. Hajar? Is Hajar with us? Actually, Hajar, she's working at the hospital. Hajar is a consultant. Caroline, do you want to introduce Hajar to us, please?
Yes, of course. Hajar is a consultant obstetrician and gynecologist, and she has a lot of international health education and women's health experience, working with other charities around the world, so directly with Sudan, and she brings a lot of experience from practical implementation, and she's going to be focused on working with mothers and children in our mobile clinics in Gaza. So she has worked in providing online training and education for obstetrics and gynecology trainees during the war to support their career progression. So she has really very direct experience training for midwives and birth attendants in Sudan, served on the Black and Ethnic Minority Committee, advocating for equal and safe healthcare access for all patients, originally from Sudan, and committed to rebuilding and improving healthcare for women and children in conflict-affected regions. As she says here, she's passionate about fighting for women's health rights and expanding healthcare access in war-torn areas.
Thank you very much, Caroline. Fulla?
Good evening, everyone, and welcome, and thank you for joining us today. I stand before you today as a mother and a human being and someone who believes in the power of compassion to create change. I'm originally from Algeria, but I spent over 30 decades now outside of Algeria, mostly in Britain. I'm a senior fellow of the Higher Education Academy with 20 plus years of experience in education. I'm especially, interested in decolonization, social justice, and the relationship between education and cultural heritage and Islam. I worked as a research fellow with the Open University and worked across different institutions. I joined the Mothers of Hind initiative because when Gaza is reduced to rubble, it is not just buildings that fall, it is dreams, it is dignity, and it is hope. But mothers are uniquely wired to rebuild hope where others see despair. In joining this cause, I've realized that building Gaza is not just an act of kindness, it is an act of justice. We are here to say we see you, we hear you, and we will not forget you. This initiative goes beyond mere charity for me. It is a movement of solidarity, recognizing that the mothers of Gaza do not need pity. They need support, tools, and bridge to reclaim what they have been stolen from them. Through this initiative, hopefully, I hope to contribute to ensuring not only that homes are reconstructed, but that communities flourish again. It is about giving children back their schools and well-being, mothers back their livelihoods and smiles, and families back their sense of belonging. Together, inshallah, let us be the strength that turns devastation into renewal. And remember that every little helps. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fulla. I cannot really miss our executive team who worked hard in preparing for this. Sanjida, Noura, Fatma, Saida, Jabin, and Dana. and many other volunteers as well that are also supporting us. So thank you very much to all of you. You have worked really well in preparing for our organization's launch. And we have our wonderful Ruba Al-Hour. Ruba is our new project coordinator. Ruba is here with us, if you can put your camera on. And she prepared this wonderful video for us.
ترجع المدارس زي زمان بدنا نتعلم احنا والله قرفنا والله بدنا نتعلم احنا بدنا مدارس ما تعلمناش من زمان قرفنا واحنا بالدار We need your support. These children need support now. I am Ruben Ford, a project coordinator at Mothers of Hind Foundation in Gaza. For over a year, our children are deprived of their basic right education. Schools destroyed, dreams ended. We refuse to give up. The Mothers of Hind Foundation working to rebuild hope in their place by establishing the Mothers of Hind schools in Gaza. This place where children dream in it and learn in it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the hard work, Ruba, you're doing despite all the hardship that you have seen, the cut-off internet, the inability to communicate with us, and the difficulty in transport and all of that. Thank you very much, Ruba, for the hard work. We also have Fatima with us, and Fatima has been the first one that I have known in Gaza. She is supporting us in the Gaza School series, and her mother, Andera Hamouda, both of them have got lots of experience in building schools and developing schools. And unfortunately, they were obviously in the south. When they went to the north, the photo on the right is Fatima's house. So we hope that you will be able to build your house and get the support you need. Fatima, before she left from the south to the north, she prepared this video for us. She did an activity, organized an activity for the children with the help of Mothers of Hind.
مرحبا دكتور عبير، اليوم آخر يوم بالمخيم، حنرجع لشمال عاملين احتفال بسيط للأطفال بنفرحهم فيه بالمساعدات اللي والمبادرات. كل تحية لأمهات هند ودكتور عبير. عندنا شكرا دكتور عبير. شكرا أمهات هند. من غزة الصمود إن شاء الله بكرة راجعين على الشمال بإذن الله تعالى. آخر يوم في المواصي، آخر يوم في النزوح، وآخر يوم في المخيمات وفي التعب، وهي تفريح الأطفال اليوم للذكرى. إن شاء الله يا رب يكون في مبادرات جاية بالشمال وبغزة، وبدنا نفرح أطفالنا وما بدنا نهاية، ودائما خليكم معي.
Right. Okay. More people to thank. Dr. Mr. Nasruddin, he's our governance and compliance auditor. Mr. Osama for the website developer. Aiz video composer. Nofal for the logo. Bilal accountant. And Amani al-Maqadma from Gaza Emergency Committee. Dr. Imad Ramadani is one of our wonderful collaborators. He is the one who established the free access for thousands of students in Gaza to access the internet and electricity, and he's got also platforms to support them with databases like edX and Coursera and the rest of them. We are happy that we are now initiating our collaborations with certain organizations. We have not signed up with any of them yet, but we are in the process of doing so. And these are the Palestinian Organization for Development, Ma'an Development Center, the Islamic University of Gaza, Al-Azhar University, and the foundation, Humanitarian Foundation in Geneva. And also we have with us here Sundus Hamad, Sundus came here to the UK as coordinator of the Right to Education campaign at Birzeit University. She supported us, and she also with Drs. Ahmed Shaban and Dr. Abdul Razzaq al-Takriti from the Emergency Committee and the Friends of Birzeit University in London. So thank you very much, Sundus, for being with us. So, Mothers of Hind, if I can ask Caroline, if you could introduce these two slides for me, please.
So, Mothers of Hind is a UK registered non-profit limited company, and we started we founded in December 2024. We're a group of dedicated professional mothers, as you've met everybody's so far, and we're deeply moved by the human impact of war and genocide. As Fulla very, very eloquently described the sentiment, she represents how we all feel, and I really appreciate your words, Fulla. They were really, really powerful. Mothers of Hind is committed to provide hope and support to communities devastated by war and its aftermath. And our focus now is Gaza, and as Dr. Abir has said, we are working in solidarity with organizations in Gaza and the West Bank that are have their plans. Our vision is we aspire to be a global beacon of hope. So while our focus is now Gaza, and it will be for quite some time, we want to spread that when we can. And we aspire to be that global beacon of hope, creating opportunities for education, psychosocial support, and well-being for communities suffering from devastating effects of war and genocide. The main themes of our work will be education. We will have junior school education looking at Mothers of Hind schools. We will focus in with higher education with this higher education academic network, where we will support universities and the emergency committee within Gaza to help support those existing Gaza universities in their needs. Psychosocial support to support families, communities, children, mothers in that in their needs as time progresses, and maybe inshallah life goes back to some semblance of normality. Sponsorship projects in a variety of areas that require funding to support education, to support families, all those requirements that children and teachers and families and mothers need for their everyday lives. And then we have the women and children's mobile clinics, which we will focus on the needs of pregnant mothers, young children, and families as they grow.
Thank you very much for that, Caroline. So in terms of the Hind's Higher Education Academic Network, we are trying to collaborate with Islamic University of Gaza, and we have Dr. Kamalain Shat and Dr. Abu Shaban. I'm not sure if he arrived or not. The hope is that we would like to unite a global network of academics and expertise and material in terms of recorded lectures and providing them with the support also to they've got certificates that need to be released as well. We are hoping to facilitate mentorship and research collaboration and sustain and rebuild the intellectual and professional aspirations of Gaza. And we call upon all of you to support us in this project and be a part of it. The way that this is going to happen is that you will be filling a volunteering form. This is a mistake here, it should say form. And then you will join our website platform, which will be launched soon to host as a platform the academics from all around the world, and also be accessed by the universities in Gaza. The hope is that the Gaza University will identify obviously their needs. They already know their needs and they already shared that with us, but we won't be able to share that with you here. And they will be able to contact the right academic with the right expertise. So basically, Mothers of Hind is going to be the hub, the platform where this is going to happen. That meeting is going to happen, hopefully. And then obviously the academic is going to prepare their teaching material and the assessment, and then they will be able, our hope is that there will be teams of academics due to the language and availability, obviously purposes. It's not easy to have. Everyone speaks Arabic, so we need to create those teams. And then obviously the material and teaching to be delivered and the feedback to be gained. We called it Hayyin, ease, in short, just to make life easier for the academics in Gaza universities. And we hope that we are going to launch this project very soon. The second project is Mothers of Hind School Series, where we are hoping that our schools are going to have comprehensive offer by teaching the students, and we are focusing on the first 3 grades to start with, grade 1, 2, and 3. And they will have also psychosocial student support by having someone who is specialist within the actual school, the nurse on board, and then meals and clothing. The cost of this project will be delivered to you, as in like presented to you at the end. But we really need your support in supporting us in each one of these projects. The issue here was that, obviously, as you are aware, a couple of days ago, the refugees, the Gazans in the south, they went back to the north, and it was an kind of instability situation where we don't know where each one is. And that's why we have not opened our school yet, but all the paperwork, all the budget, everything is ready for us to start and initiate the schools project. And we're calling upon you to support us in this project. Hopefully we will be organizing it in Gaza City in region number 2. As we said, we are trying to create some partnerships with UNICEF and MAN and provide the material and safe and the safe environment, and obviously the infrastructure of whiteboards, desks, and chairs, and so on. The psychosocial support is going to be delivered using the schools themselves. So the schools actually in the morning will host the students, and in the afternoon it will host those who specialize in psychological and psychosocial support. And we are offering the train of the trainers. So we have our consultant here that you will hear from later on, Dr. Ala. She will be train the trainers. So we will have them on board there, and then they will receive the training to deliver directly to the Gazan people. This is how we are going to organize it. And then finally, we have the mothers and children mobile clinics. Stage 1, it will be online by also training and providing virtual clinics and providing medical aid films and online support. And then stage 2, which will be the long-term project where the actual physical clinic will be there to provide the mother and baby with support with their healthcare, vitamins, and enhancing their health. We are going to listen now to the first speaker, Mrs. Wissam Hamada, mother of Hind Rajab. I'm just going to ask if she is with us here. If she is not with us, we have prepared a video of her just in case her internet cuts off. I'm not sure if she is with us, if the ladies can help me to find if she is with us or not. If not, I'm going to play her video.
I don't think she's on the call right now.
Okay, thank you. Now, today we are launching a support project for Iyad. Can you see him in the photo? Iyad is Hind's little brother. And this is an answer to Wissam's call, their mother, who is worried about her child's future. And I'm calling upon all of you in this meeting to support us to help Iyad grow and receive the right education and the right care. And if you are able to sponsor the family or Iyad, or even if it was a partial sponsorship, please get in touch and let us know. Let me play the video, and the video is translated. So
ورحمة الله وبركاته. أنا اسمي وسام بهاء الدين حمادة، والدة الطفلة هند رجب. أنا حابة اليوم أعرفكم عن حالي. إني أنا كانت لدي أسرة مكونة من 4 أفراد، أنا وزوجي وإياد وهند. فقدت زوجي وفقدت هند. حاليا بأحكي لكم عن هند فقدتها في حادثة مؤلمة ومؤثرة أثرت في العالم جميعا. هند فقدتها أثناء محاولتنا للهروب من المنطقة التي اقتحمها الاحتلال. حاولنا الهروب عبر سيارة، وكانت هند تذهب بالسيارة مع عمي وزوجته وأولاده. لأنه كان هناك مطر غزير. إياد رفض الذهاب بالسيارة، فبقيت هند مع عمي وزوجته. وحاولنا الهروب من المنطقة التي نتواجد فيها. أثناء هروبنا نظرنا إلى السيارة، وجدناها إنها تم إطلاق النار بشكل مباشر على السيارة. في هذه اللحظة تركت إن ابنتي بالسيارة، هي وزوجة عمي وعمي في السيارة، إنهم مصابون. حاولنا الفرار من المنطقة، لأنه إذا يعني بقينا في المنطقة بيتم إطلاق النار علينا، وأنا بدي أحاول إني أبعد عن المنطقة. بدي أبعت فرقة إنقاذ لبنتي، صليب أحمر أو إسعاف أو هلال، لإنقاذها. أعتذر عن صوتي بسبب البكاء المستمر على هند. في هذه اللحظة ذهبنا إلى مكان آمن أكثر، يعني بعيد أكثر. لا يوجد مكان آمن كان في قطاع غزة أثناء الحرب. ذهبنا لمكان أبعد من المكان الذي تواجد به الاحتلال. تواصلنا مع هند وحاولنا الوصول إليها، حاولت الاستغاثة، ولا أستطيع أن أوصف لكم شعور أم أثناء أن ابنتها تحتاج الإغاثة، وأنا لا أستطيع أن أفعل لها شيء. فقط كانت تريد الحماية، كانت تقول لي تعالي خذيني، تعالي خذيني، وأنا لا أستطيع فعل هذا الشيء. فهذا كان جدا مؤثر، يعني شيء متعب جدا، مرهق جدا. كلما أتذكر الكلمة أتعب، فالحقيقة أتعب كثيرا عند تذكر صوتها وتذكر الكلمات الأخيرة التي قالتها. بعد هند عانيت كثيرا. عانيت كثيرا لأنه ابني أصبح وحيد. كانت هند كل حياته. كانت هند بالنسبة لنا مالية علينا الحياة بذكائها، بلعبها، بروحها الحلوة. فجأة يعني هيك شعرت إني وحيدة بدونها، ويتشعر إنه وحيد، ولا نعيش حياة يعني مستقرة. نعيش بألم، حزن، وجع كبير. كل من فقد يشعر بما أشعر به. ما بحدثكم عن شعور بسيط. بحدثكم عن شعور أم فقدت أعز أولادها، وهي ابنة البكر. نحن بعد هند عشنا نزوح برضو. أيضا نزحت بعد هند أيضا إلى كذا منزل لم نستقر. أنا الآن لحد الآن أنا نازحة بسبب البيوت المدمرة، وأعيش عند أقاربي. وضعنا مأساوي جدا. يوجد غلاء بالأسعار باهظ جدا، يعني لا تستطيع جميع العائلات، لا تستطيع جميع المستويات في القطاع أن تتعايش مع هذا الواقع. لا يستطيع الجميع أن يأكل ما يوجد في السوق. لا يستطيع الجميع شراء هذه المنتجات بسبب الغلاء الفاحش، لأن الضريبة عندنا عالية جدا. فهناك غلاء بالأسعار. هناك أيضا عدم توفر مياه نظيفة، عدم وجود توفر مصارف صحية. البنية التحتية مدمرة بالكامل. لا يوجد هناك مستشفيات. أخاف على ابن إياد من أن يصيبه أي أذى، ولا أستطيع أن أخذه إلى مستشفى. لا يوجد أي مستشفى واحد في قطاع غزة يستقبل أي حالة. إيه، لا يوجد تعليم. إياد الآن عمره 5 سنوات، هو المفروض في رياض الأطفال. لا يتعلم شيء، لا يذهب للتعلم. أحاول أن أعلمه في البيت، ولكن المدرسة أو المدرسة تعلمه الكثير. يعني نحن نتابع بالمنزل، لكن المدرسة هي أساس. وجميع الطلاب في القطاع يعانون من نفس الشيء. يعني لا يستطيعون التعلم، لا يستطيعون لا يوجد هناك اهتمام بالصحة. البنية التحتية مدمرة بالكامل. كمية الأطفال الأيتام في قطاع غزة كمية كبيرة جدا. كمية الأطفال الذين يفقدون أمهاتهم كبيرة جدا. يعني حياة مدمرة بالكامل. ذهبت إلى قبر ابنتي منذ يومين في ذكراها. وجدت صعوبة كبيرة كي أصل لها. كنت لو في الوضع الطبيعي وصلت لها كانت ثلث ساعة. الآن حتى أصل لها من دمار الشوارع ومن دمار البيوت ومن الركام الموجود في الشوارع احتجت أكثر من 3 ساعات حتى أصل لها. وعندما وصلت لها وجدت أن قبرها لا يليق بها، قبرها فقط كومة من الرمل. هذا شيء أوجعني كثيرا. كنت أتمنى أن يكون لها قبر مبني، قبر كباقي الشهداء، جميعهم دفنوا هيك فوق الرمل. يعني شعور صعب جدا. لم أستطع أن أخذ إياد إلى هذا القبر. تخيل كم طفل حرم من وداع أخته، من وداع أبوه، من وداع أمه. نحن نعيش في غزة حياة مأساة بمعنى الكلمة. لست أنا فقط من أعيش هذه المأساة، لست أنا، أكثر من 2 مليون يعيش هذه المأساة. لست إياد الطفل الوحيد الذي يعاني هذه المأساة، أكثر من 15 ألف طفل يعيش هذه المأساة. لست فقط هند هي القصة الوحيدة في القطاع. هناك الكثير من قصص الأطفال الذين عاشوا تحت الركام 3 أو 4 أيام ولم يجدوا أحد ينقذهم وكانوا يستغيثوا، ولكن صوتهم لم يصل للعالم. هند وصل رسالتها للعالم لأنه كان معها جوال، لكن باقي الأطفال لم يجدوا طريقة. هناك قصص أفظع بكثير صارت عندنا.
We join our voices together to send our condolences to you, Wissam, and to all the mothers who lost their children. And I call upon all of you to sponsor Iyad and Wissam, and hopefully we will be able to make a difference for their family. I'm going to move now to our speaker, Dr. Kamalain Shaf. Dr. Kamalain is the Deputy Chairman of the Board of Trustees at the Islamic University of Gaza. He is the President of the Hope Foundation for Education in Istanbul, former President of the Islamic University of Gaza from 2005 to 2015. He has a PhD in Construction Management, University of Leeds in the UK, and Masters in Industrial Construction Management from Colorado State University in the USA. And he has also another Master's in Management Development, European Arab Management School in Spain, and Bachelor in Civil Engineering from Cairo University. He's an active member of Ta'awun, the Welfare Association, and the Gaza Mental Health Program, and a member of the Emergency Committee of Gaza Universities. Welcome to you, Dr. Kamalain, and we thank you very much for joining us. If you would like to take the floor, please, and deliver your presentation.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Abir, and your colleagues as well. And I appreciate very much your initiative. And I hope, inshallah, that this initiative will be fruitful soon, and many people will benefit from your activities. And I call upon all people, in fact, to join you, inshallah, and to have a bigger and bigger community under your initiative, so that you can serve as much as possible of people in Gaza who, in fact, they need so much help nowadays in every avenue and every field. Okay. In fact, I tried just to talk briefly about higher education status in Gaza before October 7th and during the aggression as well, and what should we do now, right now, at this recovery stage, recovery phase, after for the higher education after this ceasefire, and about reconstruction phase as well. This is maybe these are main points that I will talk about. For higher education in Gaza before October 7th, it was, in fact, I suppose that is we have good higher education system. We have about 23 higher education institutions, including 6 or 7 universities, as well as university colleges and community colleges as well. We could divide them in so many ways, but I'll prefer to just concentrate on. We have three big institutions, which is Al-Aqsa University and its affiliated community college, as well as Al-Azhar University and its affiliated community college, and Islamic University of Gaza with UCAS, which is University College for Applied Sciences. And we have others. I mean, quality-wise as well as volume-wise, I would say that we have four parts. So Islamic University and UCAS represent about 25 or up to 3% of the volume of the higher education students as well as staff, etc. So I'd like just to give you an idea.
3% or 30%? Is 25? Is it 3% or 30%? Do you mean?
No, I mean 25 to 30%. This is we have about I would say about 25,000 students out of 86,000 students. So a bit more than fourth of the students. Yeah. So I'll give you an idea. This is photos of different universities. Here, Islamic University at the right, and at the left is the Al-Azhar University, which is maybe the main big universities in Gaza. And by the way, in fact, these are not-for-profit universities. We have only one governmental one, which is Al-Aqsa University. And in fact, in Palestine, we have somehow a unique system that the backbone of higher education in Gaza as well as in West Bank is these not-for-profit universities. Be'er Zayt, Al-Najah, Beit Lahem, Al-Khalil, all these universities were mainly established before the coming of the Palestinian Authority, the establishment of the Palestinian Authority, and till now they are the main institutions providing higher education services. So in general, as you know, as we have three main functions of universities: education, research, and community service. And more, in fact, we in Gaza as well as in West Bank, we are working along these main three functions, and I think that we are doing well in this regard. So as I have been in the Islamic University for about 20 years, about 10 years of them I've been the president of the university, and of course UCAS is in fact somehow it is related to the Islamic universities, and we have the same board of trustees for both of these institutions. So I'll have them as a case study to show how higher education, how universities are working in Gaza. And I think that others are doing almost the same, plus or minus, in fact. So we offer diploma and Bachelor of Science, Masters of Science, PhD degrees, and in almost all colleges, including medicine, engineering, IT, etc. In Islamic University of Gaza, we have 7 journals, and alhamdulillah, right now we managed to make them function. After about 1 year of stopping now due to the war. And we have community service. In fact, we have very, very diverse ways to serve our community. Just I'll show you some of these. So for example, we have if we are serving the blind, in fact, we began this maybe in year 2000, this program, and gradually we make it better and better. And we have as well students with disabilities for the deaf as well. This is we done about 10 years back. In fact, we began this service. By the way, this is very, very hard to teach the deaf. It's much harder than the blind. And very few universities in all over the world that they have this this service, in fact. And we have we call it the Irada Center, which is serving people who are physically handicapped. And we began that after the war of 2008, 2009. And in fact, we serve hundreds or maybe thousands of people with disabilities in so many crafts. We are trying to train them and to let them have a career to work with. And we were having, in fact, satellite TV channel, which was working 24 hours, but unfortunately, a few years back, we couldn't finance it, and then we stopped having this satellite TV channel. As well, we have FM radio station working 24 hours, and 24/7 as well. And of course, now it stopped, but in fact, inshallah, we will resume this activity. We have business incubators. In fact, we began that maybe from year 2005, 2007. In fact, the first project we got it from the World Bank, and we continue just to have this activity, trying to give opportunity for our students as well as graduates to have their own businesses. Now, for the UCAS, which is the University College for Applied Sciences, this is other samples of their work. This is nursing simulation lab, and okay, and this is workshop. Car service workshop, which is in fact maybe the best in Gaza. It was, in fact. And this is media studio, as well as we have fashion design lab as well. So in fact, we have very, very diverse things. And unfortunately, now with this, we go to phase 2, which is the EduSite, which were after October 7th, that we have almost all our institutions being bombed. This is Al-Azhar University at the left, and this is Al-Aqsa Islamic University at the right, and down it is the Al-Isra University. But after maybe about 6 months, in fact, in the beginning, we were just waiting. We try, okay, with this, the war will be over, and then we will resume our activities. And we thought that it was like the war in 2014, which lasted for about 50 days. So I think, okay, let's have it have 100 days, and then we will resume our activities. But as you see, it lasted for a long time. So maybe after 6 months, we tried to resume our activities. In fact, not only the Islamic University of Gaza, because Al-Azhar and others as well, mainly with the e-learning, in spite of all the hardship or the difficulties or the lack of everything, or almost. But Alhamdulillah, we managed to resume the the fall semester, or which we began before October 7th. So we finish it, alhamdulillah, and then we resume and began the second semester, and now it is finished. And in fact, we are maybe from today in Islamic University, we began registration for the summer university. I mean, we are trying to, just to follow our calendar. So to have fall and spring, and then we have summer, and then we have again fall and spring. So to try to catch up with our program with some modifications, as you know. So this is the e-learning, and alhamdulillah, I would say that right now about 70% of our students are managed to join this e-learning activity. And this is as well, oh, sorry. I made a mistake.
Your video,
just yeah. Just I want to see the Zoom. Oh, okay. It works. So I don't see it, but I'll just join you.
Maybe if you move your mouse a little bit, it will appear.
In fact, I am using my iPhone, so it is anyway. Just 1 minute. Okay, I get it. Okay. So we have field training, or or you could say as well, it is okay. Where it is here?
We can see you now, Dr. Kamalin. We can see you. The video is fine.
Oh, okay. So you could say it is internship or work placement as well, and we manage, in fact, to have more than 2,000 students are doing this in medicine, nursing, education, etc. For masters and the PhD Viva, and we managed to have this as well. And then I would say that maybe the pioneer in this was Al-Azhar University, who began, in fact, this activity. Then we have, okay, for community service, just we choose to have our 10 schools. In fact, we have about now about 8 or 9 schools, right, are running these schools. Under the supervision of Dr. Munawar Najm, which is a professor in education, with a team of volunteers and students and teachers as well. And alhamdulillah, they are doing well, and we hope that in the next phase that we could manage to do better in this field. This is some of the statistics we have. As you see, that in second semester we have more than 12,000 students enrolled, and in fact, right now they finished their exams. In fact, and inshallah will begin the summer. Inshallah, we, as the registration will begin for summer semester began today, and this is about the internship and volunteer work as well. We have so many. We have more than 2,000 people. And after that, well, this is the scientific research. In fact, this statistics about maybe 2 or 3 months back, we have 30 research proposals approved and 50 master's thesis defended and 4 PhD thesis defended, as well as 24 scientific papers peer reviewed, and alhamdulillah. Okay, so now for the recovery phase, which we are supposed to be now, and we assume that we have to begin to to see the site of the university. In fact, just today, the acting president of the IUG just managed today to go to the university, because he is lived in Khan Yunis, and this morning he went to the site in Gaza main campus. In fact, we have 3 campuses. One in Gaza, which is the main one, and when we have another in Khan Yunis, and we have third in Netzarim itself. And in fact, it was became the headquarters of the Israeli army there. And unfortunately, till now, we have some fires there. It seems that it's because due to the phosphorus, bombs there. But anyway, so we think that we have to just to have sites clearing and cleaning, and some rectifications here and there, and provide utilities in part of the site, of course, and to have generator or solar panels and batteries, etc., and have internet connections and some accessories, and to have these tents or caravans. So gradually, we will have some sort of blended learning, not just to move from complete air learning to blended learning, then to have the maybe after 6 months, 1 year. I'm not quite sure how long it will take. So we can, and of course we need some furniture, some computers, etc. And this is as you see, this is about caravans or about this type of buildings. I hope that we can have this as soon as possible. Of course, what we need maybe more right now is we need to have some income, so that we can pay salaries or part of our salaries for our staff, because the main revenue we have, or the main financial support we have, is in fact from the tuition fees we get from students. But right now we don't have any tuition fees. We don't ask students to pay this, of course. Okay, so maybe as well we need to have qualified and suitable volunteering teachers, of course, suitable, because the language barrier, because sometime in fact we have maybe the core of our staff is there, but we still need so many, because we have some martyrs, some in fact some are imprisoned, some they don't have computers, they don't have connections, etc. So I think that we need to have continuous communication between academics in Gaza and abroad, with seminars, conferences, Zoom meetings, joint research, etc., so that we can have, the environment that, I mean, just to touch the right environment for a university or for a higher education institution. Of course, we need to have access to e-libraries because, our library, which is, it was a very big one, but unfortunately, we lost all of the books there. And as much as possible, if going and coming back from Gaza to Gaza, we have student and staff exchange, even if it is only one way. But it is good to have this. So this is, I would say that just some points that I think that we hope that if we get them or some of them will help us to improve our serving of our community. And by the way, in fact, I appreciate very much your initiative to help people in Gaza at large, as well as about education, either to schools or to higher education or to social
Psychosocial support.
Psychosocial activities. I think that this is a very good activities that you can do, and we are in Gaza in much need for people to help us in this, and I call upon all people, in fact, as much as possible, that they will join you, inshallah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kamalain. We really, really highly appreciate. I think the main point here is that we would like the people of Gaza to stay in Gaza, and also the higher education in Gaza to be revived, rather than we bring students from Gaza abroad, because we would like them to remain there, to recreate the system there, and the system to be regained back again after it has been damaged. So we will do our best, all of us, and we will call upon everyone that can hear us also to support the higher education system in Gaza. So thank you very much, Dr. Kamalain, for being with us. And if you can stay for the questions and answers after Dr. Ahmad, if you can, please, we will move on. Thank you. I'm going to now introduce Dr. Ahmad Abu Sha'ban. I believe Dr. Ahmad is with us here. Dr. Ahmad Abu Sha'ban is the Dean of the Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Medicine at Al-Azhar University in Gaza, and he is an Associate Professor of Agricultural Economics. He previously served as a visiting professor in the Department of Environmental Sociology at the University of Wisconsin. Dr. Abu Sha'ban has led numerous consultancy projects focusing on the socio-economic evaluation of national water and environmental infrastructure programs. His research and consultancy work center on economic development in the Gaza Strip, with expertise in designing humanitarian, early recovery and developmental strategies to support communities in crisis. So thank you very much, Dr. Ahmad, for joining us. We have Professor Hassan Ashur. If you can, please wait until we finish this presentation, and then we will take some questions from the audience. Thank you very much, Dr. Ahmad, for joining us.
Thank you very much for this opportunity and for all the solidarity work you are doing to support the resilience of Palestinian people in Gaza Strip. It's really important to reflect a little bit on the context of the situation, because this is not a normal conflict or a normal war or a kind of like something that we would observe somewhere else. I think it's very important to put this in a context of a long-term settler colonialism project that has been targeting the resilience and the presence of the Palestinian people on their land since a very long time, challenging all means of life for the Palestinian. So our story did not start on the 7th of October, talking about all means of life, like thinking about our education system, health system, food system, environment, infrastructure, institutions. Everything was challenged by the Israeli occupation for a very long time, with the main aim to keep the systems fragile and dependent on external support, and with a very clear plan that when they would like actually to collapse all systems to sustain the resilience and the presence of the Palestinian people over their land, to do it. So now, talking about education before the crisis was not actually in a very good shape or in a very good condition. I mean, if I would talk only about the last 18 years, even before the war, Gaza was under siege, and restriction of movement of people, and even equipment, products from in and out Gaza. That has actually influenced the whole context in Gaza, deterioration of economy, increasing very high level of unemployment, very high level of poverty, very limited infrastructure or public services like electricity. And this is actually has caused a significant impact on all means of life, but including higher education. I mean, talking about higher education is very important. Why higher education for Palestinian is very important? Because higher education for us is reflecting our Palestinian identity. I mean, independent Palestinian education system means independent Palestinian identity with a potential to bring our cause to the new generation, but not this, but also production of knowledge that actually help with education system and capacity building of our new generation to build our Palestinian state. Therefore, the Israelis are looking at our Palestinian institutions, academic institution, as a threat, and they are trying and doing every and each efforts to destroy it. So usually I'm using this example, very clear example of my faculty. I am now 50 years old. I'm leading the Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Medicine at Azhar University. I joined this faculty when I was 18 years old. As a student in the undergraduate program. During those 32 years and before this war, the building of my faculty was destroyed 3 times. And this happened actually the 4th time. So there was even a systematic destruction and targeting of academic institution and higher education institution. It was not part of a battle or something, a hot conflict area that they had to destroy a building. No, it was very systematic. But, you know, this is again, as Dr. Kamalen explained, you know, Palestinians are presenting a very good resilience model, that we are just, whenever they are just destroying something, we just keep rebuilding what they destroy. We just keep just showing the resilience of our system. So what they did this time, they thought, okay, you know, those Palestinians, we just try to kill them, but they never die. So we are going to do it in a very systematic way. Now, what they did in the Palestinian universities, they were just coming in a very systematic way inside a certain campus. They destroy one building, taking photos, filming, making jokes, even posting this online. And then when they destroy one building, they move to the other, and then they move to the other, and then they move to the other. And then when they finish at the campus, they move to the other campus. And they did actually this for all 11 universities existing in Gaza, destroying all universities. Whatever remaining, even the building remaining, are out of services, because the buildings that are not destroyed, they just put them on fire. So now we do not have all the administrative building, whole lectures hall, laboratories, research station, community services centers. Everything was destroyed. Al-Azhar University We have 13 faculties with 83 bachelor program, with around like 40 master programs and 4 PhD programs. I mean, they were just in a very systematic way, and all the community service programs also were destroyed and nothing remains. And what happened after the war, and it's not only the buildings, but also human resources. I mean, the Israelis killed around 117 academics. 3 of them are presidents of universities. Around 20 of them are full professors. And they were just, it looks as it's really systematic. They don't want operation of academic higher education institution because they feel this is a threat. So what we did after the war, we thought, okay, we will just think the first thing, we have around like 88,000 students without universities, without higher education institutions, both secondary school education. We have around 5,000 academics with no salaries, with no income. And we have actually destroyed facilities. What should we do? We started actually to go to talk to donors, to potential, to seek potential support, but we got really a frightening message. And this is actually why we are here, and I do appreciate what actually Mothers of Hind are doing, and along with other even initiatives trying to support higher education system, because we got like 2 frightening messages. I mean, the first one was, okay, thinking about higher education in such context while people are seeking basic needs, thinking about higher education, this is not priority right now. But the really frightening one message that there is no academic institutions in Gaza. We have some students who would like actually to get their certificate. We have some academics who would like to get positions or work opportunities, but we do not have academic institutions. And for us, academic institutions is part of our resilience, the resilience of the Palestinian people. So therefore, we decided, okay, we need to start. We need to operate. We need to sustain the Palestinian academic institutions operating on the ground of Gaza. And then we decided we are going to start to go online. I still remember when we started, we were not that optimistic. We just thought, okay, I mean, at Al-Azhar University, we have around 14,000 students. We were dreaming of getting only 1,000 of the 14,000 to sign up for the online courses. Because students, they do not have homes, they do not have electricity, they do not have basic needs, they have nothing actually, how they can go to online teaching while they have nothing. And even at the time when we started, like even some people were just criticizing. I mean, who's going to think about higher education right now? And we were actually shocked when we saw that at the first semester, when we started in June 2024, we got 10,000 students signing up for the courses, 10,000 out of the 14,000. So that was really shocking for all of us. We offered the first semester, completed the first semester, completed the second semester, and we are starting now the third semester. We had a really wonderful resilience model, not only from our students, but also from our distinguished professors who live in tent with a very limited resources, with like a lot of suffering, and they keep just struggling to get even scholarship sustained in Gaza. And, you know, also we have our postgraduate students who are just doing really a great job. And even I don't know if you saw this, actually, there were actually several reports about our even master students who are just defending their thesis in a tent. Me, myself, I'm currently now in Canada. I just joined like several panels where actually like the students are even in a tent with the rest of the panel. But this is something like reflecting the resilience of the system. So we have our students, even with a community initiative, trying to support the community in different ways. Our medicine students, they were acting as doctors, because the Israelis were targeting also the doctors, and they are just because they want to collapse the health system also to collapse, and they were just targeting the doctors. So our students, they were acting as doctors because the hospitals do not have any human resources. And it was really distinguished what they did there. At the same time, we had also the same challenge at the food system, for example. The food system collapsed. Our students were actually going to the field, trying to cultivate, trying to produce some food and to distribute food to the displaced people, while the Israelis are trying to use starvation as a weapon to expel the people out of their land. We are doing really a very good job as a resilience model, but we are challenged. We are challenged, and we have like several challenges. And the reason why I do appreciate what Mothers of Hind is doing, or even other charities, that they are trying actually to think about how to support the resilience of the Palestinian people on their ground. But this will never happen unless we support the institutions that they are providing means of life and support of resilience of the Palestinian people on the ground. So the university is the only source of income for all universities in Gaza, is except one governmental university, but all the remaining universities, the only source of income for them is the student fees. We were facing the challenges of obtaining the student fees even before the war. Al-Azhar University, we have around more than like 8 million dinars, which is around, I don't know, the number is around like, I think 10 million US dollars or something like this, which is actually the fees that the students has to pay to get their certificates. Because as a national university with a national mission, even students before the war who were not able to pay the fees, we did not ask them to leave. We sustained providing them with education. But when they just completed all the required credit hours to be graduated, we were not able to issue their certificates because they had to pay the fees. Now, actually, they graduated from practical term of view, but financially they need to pay this money. And this money is essential and needed to operate the organization. I mean, this is the same thing. After the war, we cannot ask the students to pay the fees. Now, thinking about, should we stop because we do not have the fees? We are almost doing our services on a voluntary basis. I mean, thinking about those distinguished professors, colleagues who are sitting in tents in Gaza without any basic needs, suffering and challenging the conditions to provide scholarship to the students. At the same time, they do not earn any income. So what we are in a bad need for is a financial means. We need actually to find the scholarships to pay the fees for the students in the Palestinian academic institutions in Gaza. Very good example I give here. It's very good example about if you would like to bring the students from the Middle East or any developing countries to USA or Canada or even United Kingdom, the average cost per student would be, just thinking about the fees, the cost of living and everything, would be around 100,000 US dollars to bring him here. For 100,000 US dollar, you can pay the fees for 100 students in Gaza. And at the same time, you can just keep the hope for the young people to sustain their scholarship, enhance the resilience of the Palestinian academic institutions on the ground, but also at the same time enhance the resilience of the Palestinian on Gaza land, which is actually threatened by the transfer, ugly, evil strategy by the Israelis. This is really urgently needed. Now, other forms of support which is urgently needed is the also cooperation in research. I mean, Palestine now, Gaza is in a very difficult situation, a unique situation, but also it is a research wealth environment where actually we need research in all disciplines to reflect mainly to answer three questions or three things. The first thing, we need actually to reflect or document the crisis and its implication on the people in Gaza, because we need to document through scientific research the crisis and to hold those criminals accountable for what they did for the Palestinian people. The second thing, we need to work very hard to reflect the Palestinian vision. You know, our fear is always that when donors are coming, they are coming not only with their money, but also they are coming with their agenda. They are coming with their vision, how to rehabilitate Gaza. Our ethical responsibility is to tell the other story, tell the Palestinian story, reflect through a participatory research, the Palestinian vision, how the Palestinians would like to see their education system rebuilt, how they would like to see their health system rebuilt, how they would like to see their institutions rebuilt. I mean, this is something need to be reflected from a Palestinian perspective. And I think what is also urgently needed, we need to support all initiative, whatever this initiative is, that can help the people to stay and to enhance their resilience on the ground of Gaza. This is very important and very essential. Thank you very much. Please keep talking about it, keep dissemination awareness about it, and keep also advocating for independent Palestinian institutions on the ground of Gaza and supporting them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ahmed. That was really, really moving speech. Thank you very much for your talk. I'm gonna switch a bit in the program to allow Dr. Ahmed and Dr. Kamalin. I know how busy they are. So I'm gonna receive questions from the audience now for about 10 minutes, and then we will resume with Dr. Alaa's presentation. So we will have questions now, if any, from the floor, and I have got Noura and Jabin to moderate that. If you would like to ask any questions, you can raise your hand and then you can unmute and ask your question, please. If we don't have, do we have any questions?
I was going to just say it's just thank you very much, both of you, for really inspiring and lots of extra information, which is really, really relevant. Thank you for that. When we look at our priorities, I just want to clarify for you, as you say, to get funds and fees into the university as best we can. So we're focused on the release of certificates, the sponsorship of student studies, and then the cooperation in research and from the Palestinian perspective. So are we on the right lines there? Are there other things? Is that correct? Is what we're assuming, to focus on the release of getting funds in when we request for donors to support, that we will focus on those areas towards releasing certificates, towards sponsoring individual students to complete their degrees, and then obviously the tutor network, which we will look at. Are we spot on there?
If you can direct the question to one of our speakers, please.
Either Dr. Ahmed or Kalameen. You're muted.
Muted, Dr. Kamalin. Professor Zahid, I will come to your question. Just give me 1 second. Let us.
Yeah, I think that both of us are agreeing on this is the main priority that we have, is just to have this scholarship for students, so that we can pay our staff as well. I think this is the main priority we have right now, and Dr. Ahmed emphasizes on this matter, I think.
Thank you.
Dr. Ahmed, do you have anything to add?
I totally agree with Dr. Kamalin. Yes, I mean, these are the priorities that we are just calling for right now. Yeah, I mean, money is very important. It is actually the engine operation. Yeah. So, and this is the most challenging barrier for us to sustain our work in Gaza.
Thank you. I just wanted to get the ball rolling, so now we have some other questions, which is great.
Thank you very much, Caroline. I'm just going to emphasize, sometimes if we hear about the need that it's in millions, it can put people off that what is it that I can do. And my perspective on this, and I'm sure my colleagues at Mothers of Hind perspective would be that even if it was a tiny bit of, honey you put in that large kind of massive, gigantic pot that, Gaza needs, even if it was just a tiny bit of that honey, it will make a difference, because we are individuals. We will not be able to, devote the whole time and collect maybe millions of pounds. However, whatever we can introduce is better than nothing. And that's our duty. This is not something that we are doing because we fancy doing that. This is the duty of us as humans to start with, and as academics and people of responsibility, that a piece of land has been damaged, the people in this land have, no one on earth, I would claim, no one on earth has seen something like what Gaza has seen in the past 15 months. And yet it stood fast and it managed to carry on. And now we hear two beautiful, wonderful professors who are telling us, we would like to stay in Gaza. We would like to keep our students here. We would like to keep our universities going. And that's what we want to do. So yes, thank you very much. I'm going to go to Professor Zahid. Professor Zahid is an amazing professor who's doing a great work in Gaza. So let's listen from him what he's doing. And if you've got any questions, please.
Thank you. It's good to see you, Dr. Abu Shaban. I'm from Sussex. You're in the group, in my group. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zahid. I mean, you are really, it's really honor to know you, and honor even to just to talk to you and see you. We are really, as Gazan, always grateful for what you are doing. Thank you.
No, thank you for allowing me to do things for you. I mean, I wish I could do more. I mean, this is a time when we all want to do more, but we do our best, inshallah. So I wanted to just let you know that we have some key people here now. So we have Miss Mona Kozondar from Al Azhar University. She's a representative of the president of Al Azhar University, and we have Dina from UAE, Professor Dina, and some other Noha is here as well, Professor Noha. So they're really key people, and they're listening to this conversation, and I can guarantee you that there'll be lots of things that we could bring to this group. I just wanted to highlight one thing that was mentioned, is that the money side of thing. And I received the report from Al Azhar, and it's in the millions. And so when we looked into it, the fundraisers, I contacted various charities, and the first question they asked is, if we're going to raise this much money, how is it going to be utilized? The reallocation of resources and the appropriate reallocation of resources. So, and then I requested Ms. Mona. She sent me like a sort of a shorter version of it, only for final year students in medicine and pharmacy. Again, it was it's really high amount. So, what I would suggest for that purpose, that we raise small amount, a number of funding, 50,000, 100,000, 50,000, a number of it. In that way, people will be more likely to contribute, because the biggest challenge is the political ground, the UK government and European governments, and this doesn't really help. So I think that could actually work, especially for this Mother of Hind. I think there is if we can set up the donation, working with the university's specific needs. So for example, the money we want to raise, but a specific amount, we start with that, and we build and we open number of fundraisings. That might actually work. And I just want to say one thing, that I've worked with Palestinian academics and students since April 2024. I've known Palestinian people for a long time, and I think they're the best people on this earth, in my opinion. I mean, there's no doubt that the amount of the resilience you show, it's just beyond anything we can ever imagine. I mean, I tell my students, if I have 1% of the resilience that you have, each and every one of you, I'll be more than happy to live in this world. It's okay. So thank you for your resilience, and I wish we could do more and more. I would love to go to Gaza and actually rebuild it with my own hands if I could. But you know, inshallah, one day if time comes, and when time comes, and if life allows. So thanks for hosting this, and it's great. Yeah, thank you.
Professor Zahed, I would like to, thank you very much. And I had a meeting actually today with Professor Zahed. We spoke about his initiatives. He has been supporting Gaza students, especially in the medical field, for the past like 6-7 months, if I'm not mistaken. And that's really a great initiative that he's doing. And now I am in liaison with him for hopefully that we can bring the efforts together. So not to reinvent the wheel, but rather, support each other in doing so. Thank you very much, Professor Zahed. I think there was Professor.
Thank you very much, but I just have really, it's because Dr. Zahed is, I do appreciate actually, of course, what he's doing, but also appreciate the point he raised. It's very important point. So of course, thinking about even rehabilitation of Gaza universities, you are talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. Yeah. And if you are thinking about the deficit of the operation budget of the universities, is tens of millions of dollars. But again, in the approach that we are talking about charities actually is about kind of somehow individualize the fundraising, because I mean, we can just organize it in a way to get even like fund per person. I mean, like just if we are just like raise fund to cover the student fees, or even we can just put it in a share, like if and this is something, as you said before, we can just collect as much as we can. We cannot just say, it's a lot of money that we cannot do, then we will not do anything. So I mean, this is, as I said again, I mean, sometimes we can get like 100,000 US dollars to get one student coming from the Middle East to the Northern America, for example. So I mean, thinking about like 100 person would volunteer or just pay for 100 student fees, $1,000 each, then this will be actually effective. Yeah. Thank you
very much,
It's
Dr.
the way we approach it. It's very important.
Thank you very much. I'm going to bring in, I can see Muna. And who is the other one that Professor Zahed mentioned? If you would like to say something, Ms. Muna? You are muted.
I am. Yes. Hello, everybody. Nice to see all of you, and thank you very much for all what you have presented. Actually, I'm so sorry I haven't come from beginning to watch all of you speaking. Thank you very much for everything, Dr. Ahmed Abu Shaban. Thank you very much for everything. Well, I work at the English language department at Al-Azhar University, and I am a representative and the coordinator for the university presidency. So if you need any question, if you need any query regarding how to help or how to support our university, I can do that so easily.
Thank you very much. That's really helpful. Thank you very much for that.
I can. Well, I will share you my email. So if anybody likes to contact me, I'm 24 hours online. So thank you very much. That's been so nice to you.
Please send it to Jabin or Noura, or email it to admin at. The email is there.
Well, I will share it to everybody here.
Thank you.
Just put it in the chat. That would be great.
Molly, we have Molly, and this is the last question before I need to move to the next slide. Molly, you raise your hand.
Hello, thank you. Yeah, first of all, thank you for organising this. It's been absolutely remarkable. I will of course support in any way I can, raising funds and things. I have a particular interest in children with special needs. It was my teaching career, and all throughout witnessing this horror in Gaza, I've just had a thought of how many children who, obviously we've seen all the children that have lost limbs and things like that, but there will be many children out there that have suffered brain damage due to shrapnel or explosions or things like this. And I would be very keen to get involved in any way I can, you know, to try and support the education of those children also. Do you know what I mean? So I will email the organisation, but I hope that is something that us all now in Mothers of Hind can also be a part of. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Molly. Honestly, even, you know, saying that, it makes a difference, because I think all of us, when we come together, you know, a little impact will make a large difference to the people of Gaza, really. So thank you for coming and saying all these nice words.
Thank you.
Before we went, I think there is a Professor Hassan Ashur. He raised his hand. Professor Hassan, do you want to say something, or shall I move on to the next slide?
No, move to the next slide.
Okay.
Dr. Ahmed, he said everything.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much.
Also,
Fatima Hamouda, you wanted to come. Do you want to say something? Fatima is our, she was the first lady and first person in Gaza that I knew, and she's now helping us to create schools in Gaza. Do you want to say something, Fatima?
Hello.
Yes, go on.
Hello, Dr. Abir. Hello, with you, Fatma from Gaza, specifically from Beit Lahia in the north and Gaza Strip. I miraculously survived the exhausting war. Death passed before us many times, but we didn't die. Each time we survived by God's mercy. And thanks to your beautiful prayers for us and for all the people and children for Gaza. I send you the greetings of 2 million Gazans from Gaza, and we have lived through difficult days. Personally, I lost 55 members of my family, most of whom we first degree, unfortunately, relatives. Without your moral and financial support, we wouldn't have been able to continue. I would like to extend special thanks to Dr. Abir, and really from my deep heart, to her voluntary and spontaneously initiatives, and to her children and mother of Gaza, orphans, widows, martyrs. However, she can't continue alone. I deeply hope that this will be the beginning of battle with hope, success, and generosity. And يعني يمكن اخذ راحتي شويه بالعربي، بس انه ما حطول كثير. نهايته انه يعني مر الموت من امامنا كثيرا لكننا لم نمت، في كل مره كنا ننجو برحمه الله وفضله، بفضل دعواتكم الجميله. نسال الله صبرا جبرا وقوه، اللهم لا يأس ولا رحمه تقنط من الله سبحانه وتعالى. رسالتي هي أنا يعني أتمنى أنه إن شاء الله يستمر برنامج المدارس. بلشنا مبادرات خفيفة، كانت جميعها مبادرات عفوية تطوعية بدون تخطيطات مسبقة، ولكن يد واحدة لا تصفق. أتمنى أن نستمر بهذا المشوار. ستكون فكرة بذرة، وإن شاء الله في المستقبل العاجل القريب ستكون. بس يعني بدي أركز على نقطتين مهمات جدا بقدر أهمية برنامج الجامعات ودراساته العليا. الأهمية والأولوية أتمنى تكون للبرايمري سكول، بريب سكول، المدارس الابتدائية والإعدادية، لأنه بالعلم تنهض الأمم. وعلى السلام. Thanks a lot.
Fatima, just very quickly, she focused on that primary schools as much as we are focusing on the higher education. She said that she would like us to also focus on the primary schools, and that she suffered the loss of so many numbers of her family, close family members. And also she traveled so many times and escaped death so many times, and just expressing her feelings about what happened to them. I would like to thank you, Fatima, for that. And just to let you know that it's not me only in Mothers of Hind, it's the effort of all of my beautiful, you know, trustees and the executive committee and Ruba in Gaza and all of you supporting. So thank you for that. I'm going to move finally to Dina, and that's the last question before I move to the next slide. I'm promising the same, but every time I'm having someone raising their hand. Dina, do you want to say something?
I'm so sorry. Yes, thank you, Dr. Abir, and thank you, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, I'm Dina Suri. And I was fortunate enough to get to know Professor Zahid recently, and he introduced me to the group. So I'm Palestinian. My father is from Gaza, and my mother is from Akka, but unfortunately, I've never been to Palestine, born and raised in Kuwait, and then I moved to the States, and right now I'm in the UAE. To cut the story short, I am an associate professor of cell biology, and I'm also very passionate on public health courses when it comes to university students. I've been teaching in universities for the past 16 years. I taught every single nationality across the world, but I've never taught any Palestinian in Palestine. My mission this year and my resolution is to reach as much as possible in my hometown, especially after what happened last year. So if you can help me, just be a pathway for me to share some of my knowledge, that would make my dream come true. And anything to do with soft skills for students. I run workshops on time management, public speaking, stress management. So I do a lot of that support for higher education as well. So if there's any need or demand or interest, please let me know. And I'm more than happy to make time for it. And again, it's a pleasure to be part of this wonderful team. Thank you.
Absolutely wonderful, Dina. And I'm sure my team here will be able to contact you. And if you can leave your contact details or email
I will.
admin we will definitely get in touch. And that's exactly what we need. That's exactly the passion that we are looking for. People that would like to support the people of Gaza. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank our speakers, Dr. Kamalain and Dr. Ahmed Abu Shaban. So thank you both very much for being with us. And I'm going to resume now with our third speaker, who is unfortunately unable to be with us, but she sent us her recorded presentation, Dr. Ala Al-Khani.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ahmed. Thank you for joining us. If you can stay with us, please do. But if you can, I totally understand how busy you are.
Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Dr. Ala Al-Khani actually is a Syrian. She's a friend of mine and she lives here in Manchester. She's a humanitarian psychologist and mental health and psychosocial support specialist. And she's also a United Nations consultant on these special developmental services, trauma recovery, life skills, family skills, and parenting interventions and resources. She has a PhD in refugee parenting from the University of Manchester. She has a Master's of Science in Applied Psychology from the University of Manchester. And she's a global master trainer in 40 countries and author as well of so many books and articles in the same area that she is specialized in. She's a highly experienced consultant in developing, adapting, and training interventions in war and displacement contexts. And she is working as an honorary research associate at the University of Manchester in psychology and mental health. So we are really blessed to have Dr. Ala as part of our wonderful volunteers and portfolio of consultants. And we are going now to watch her presentation where she's going to present her PowerPoints. Unfortunately, she was unable to join us due to a pre-booked appointments in her work. So she sent us this wonderful presentation. It's 9 minutes, so we will listen carefully.
Assalamualaikum and good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to join you all. I'm Ala, a humanitarian psychologist and mental health specialist, and I have a lot of experience developing psychological programs for adults and children in many parts of the world. And I've had the honor and pleasure, alhamdulillah, to work in Palestine for many years. Now, there's always been a huge need to support the mental health of Palestinians after decades of war and terror. But since the last war started, we know that over 2/3 of Gaza's children now have post-traumatic stress disorder, which can be incredibly debilitating. And as a result, this is of traumatic events such as witnessing shelling, losing loved ones, having their home destroyed, or even being physically injured. And a recent survey suggests that nearly all of the children in Gaza now require mental health support. And this is why I am delighted that this new initiative, Mothers of Hind, includes a psychological arm, because after all, there is no health without mental health. You're going to notice that, I'm going to describe now the vision of the psychological support that we're going to be providing to all the families in Gaza through Mothers of Hind. And you'll see that there's going to be a focus on children and their caregivers. And this is because family is often the only remaining institution with a child in humanitarian contexts like war. And going through war causes lots of changes for children and their families. And caregivers are often left really struggling to meet the emotional needs of their children because they themselves are going to be facing really extensive emotional and physical challenges. We also recognize that many of the children, sadly, will have lost their parents and are going to be in the care of related or unrelated adults. So it's really important to support all caregivers in this important role. So what we're going to be implementing in Gaza is this mental health model. And this is a toolbox, if you can think of it in that way, in the shape of a pyramid of programs that promote improved mental health. And at each level, children and adults are going to be provided with support. I'm going to touch on these 4 levels very briefly to give you just some kind of ideas of the tools that we're going to be working with. So the bottom level of the model is very low intensity. These are very simple tools that will be distributed to all the children that we're going to be working and their caregivers. And we're distributing them to everyone because we know that everybody is going to be struggling. And examples of these are going to be things like leaflets and video recordings. We've already been using these leaflets all around the world. Many are developed by us at the United Nations and many other wonderful organizations like University of Oxford and WHO as well. Of course, we might have literacy issues, so we also have the same recordings, same leaflets as recordings as well. And these can be disseminated so simply via WhatsApp or as a printed copy as well. Moving up in the model, we have other tools, which are, for example, a booklet where families can receive this booklet, but also take part in a 2-hour discussion group. So all the children in the school that Mothers of Hind will be supporting will be invited also to take part in a discussion group to talk about the mental health, tips that they can use, the strengths that they already have in caring for their children, and what else they can do. And this provides a wonderful opportunity for children and caregivers to really normalize their challenges and think about how they're going to move forward. We've already distributed this in NABLAS and have a publication on this as well, for those of you who are interested in the science side of it. Moving up the model now, we get to the 3rd level, and here we have more multi-session work. So it's much more intensive at this stage, and here we actually have to run training for facilitators that are going to be implementing this program. And here we have 2 interventions. On the left is the United Nations one that I'm a co-author of. And this is a family skills intervention called The Strong Families. About improving well-being and family mental health. And caregivers and children take part in this program together and really learn how to manage their emotional and their well-being and their stress. And they also have a chance to practice how to better communicate with each other, which are all really important things. And this is a brilliant program that's been disseminated in over 40 countries in the world. And I was in Ramallah in 2022 running this program. So we know that families in Palestine find it effective and find it acceptable as well. The program on the right is Better Together, which we developed for Northern Syria. And here are just some examples of this program. This is longer. The last program was 3 weeks. This is a 7-week program. And here on the left, you have, for example, an activity called Our Journey So Far. And this is allowing children to really think about and draw out their life story so far, the good times and the bad times, the ups and the downs. And this is a really wonderful activity for children to reflect on what they've been through so far and to recognize that just like they have been through hard times, they've also been through some really good times as well. On the right, you can see an activity which is all about learning how to problem solve and the steps behind it, because many of these children will have been through the war for so long, they will be missing these basic life skills that help them to be much better and to be much more mentally capable to continue their lives in a healthy way. When we ran this program with Syrian refugees, 1,400 families, we found a 65% drop in anxiety and depression in children. So inshallah, we hope to have similar results in Gaza. Now we get to the top of the model, and this is for really more specific trauma recovery work. And the idea of having this stepped approach is that by working with everyone on the bottom levels, we'll really recognize who needs this more intensive support at the top. And here we have a really great program called Teaching Recovery Techniques by the Children and War Foundation. This is a child trauma recovery program that's been used for over 25 years. for about 15 years itself in Gaza as well, and many parts of Palestine. It's not new to Palestine at all. The regional intervention is for children who have PTSD. And then we added a whole stream of sessions just for caregivers. So while the children work on their trauma recovery, caregivers also learn how to better look after their children while also learning the trauma recovery activities for themselves. And if we look at this one here, these are three components that are very commonly found or experiences in children and caregivers that experience war. If I just give you an example of intrusion, intrusive thoughts and images are very common in children that have been through war. These are images and thoughts that come to the child's mind when they don't want them. And this is very debilitating because children might be having an okay day and suddenly a picture comes to their mind of their dad who was murdered in front of them, or a really horrific image. So what we do is we work with children to help them bring up these images in a safe way and to work through them so that they're no longer controlling of the child, rather the child can control their own thoughts and emotions. And this goes a long way in the child's recovery when they themselves can control their thoughts. This is just an example of the kind of work we do. And we hope to distribute this intervention to all the children that Mothers of Hind will be supporting. So finally, we hope to provide all the children and their caregivers who are supported by this wonderful new charity with these resources. And they'll be able to recover from what they've been through and lead a much healthier life, inshallah. Let me just close by telling you the story behind this image on the right. This is a drawing of a refugee child that I worked with who was having really debilitating nightmares of every day a plane dropping bombs on his street, because this is what he had witnessed in Syria. So working through the last intervention that I described, the Teaching Recovery Techniques program, the child was able to work through their nightmare through sessions on healthy sleep and sleep hygiene to be able to bring up their nightmare in the day and to work through it. So by the end of this 5-week program, the child was no longer having any nightmares whatsoever and had drawn this picture of what he had replaced in his image of the initial traumatic image. And this was a plane dropping gifts and not bombs. So just imagine the change in the life of this child from having severe nightmares every day to then having very healthy, normal, restorative sleep. So in summary, by providing this toolbox of resources that I've described to you, inshallah, we're going to be reducing the link between war and psychological challenges in children and their caregivers. And I'm really excited to work with all of you, hand in hand, inshallah, to be able to support all the children in Gaza who are waiting for us. And assalamu alaikum.
Oh my God, I don't know about you, but I felt that Allah was with us. That was an amazing, amazing presentation. And what a wonderful consultant we have amongst us who is going to support Mothers of Hind. And I'm really like, I don't know about you, but I feel humble that she agreed to be with us despite all her busy life. She has the experience from the Syrian traumatic war, and now she is going to support Gaza and our people in Gaza. So thank you very much, Ala, for being with us. And hopefully we are going to create that link and that network of psychosocial support specialists around Gaza. And hopefully by the guidance of Allah, we will be able to provide train the trainers to the specialists in Gaza so they can provide the actual direct support to the people of Gaza. I don't know if Caroline, Fulla, or any of the trustees or any of the team here would like to add anything to what I have said. Please go on.
I'll just say something very quickly. Thank you, everybody. That was very inspiring from Dr. Ala. Absolutely, really wonderful. I wanted, while the other two gentlemen were still here, but they've left, but maybe Sundos, you will carry the message across to say we are making progress. And even though it's slow, we are doing really well. You know, there's a lot of hard work. Dr. Abir and the executive team have put together the website. We're looking at putting in those donor calls to action on the website. We will take on board about making it smaller amounts that are manageable for people. But please reassure the professors that we are we're getting there, and we will make it happen. It's happening in the background. And so the next phase will hopefully start to look at some funds coming in, which they're already beginning, but there'll be accelerate hopefully. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Caroline. Sundus, do you want to respond? Do you want to say something?
Just adding on Caroline, just saying, when mothers come together, we create more than change. We create movements of lasting impact. The strength of this initiative, as I see it, is rooted in the shared understanding that motherhood transcends borders, transcends faith, and transcends distance. Every child deserves safety. Every child deserves education and the chance to dream. And by supporting the reconstruction of homes and schools, we give them the foundation to build their futures and to build their lives and well-being. Let us therefore remember that rebuilding Gaza is not just about physical reconstruction, but about healing communities and restoring dignity. That's why this initiative together through the Mothers of Hind, we are sending a message of resilience, hope, and humanity. And our support today is to support peace and resilience for this great, I've seen these samples here that they contributed to the discussion. Together, we declare that no tragedy will go unanswered and no child will be forgotten. And let me just conclude with this message by Ben Okri, poetry, and he said, "It's not for us to say that we are defeated, we must be stronger than the flames." Thank you.
Oh, that's wonderful. That was really wonderful. Thank you very much for that, Fulla. So I'm gonna now move on, unless someone else would like. Sorry, I called Sundus to say something, but she sent me a message that she's feeding the baby, so she won't be able to join. But I know that Sundus is very passionate and compassionate about the higher education and the education in general, and she supported us with the MAN, connections. And she came actually to the UK and toured the UK and delivered. She was very passionate about the emergency committee. And the situation of the higher education in Gaza. So thank you very much, Sundus, for everything you have done. I'm going to move now to the final part of the presentation, which is the sponsorship projects. We are calling upon everyone who is able to help to support our packages. So the first package is about primary teachers package, and obviously this is not a salary. This is to support them with the transport, with learning aids, with the the supplies that they need and the support they need in order for them to come to the school and deliver the actual teaching. The salaries, we are sorting them out in a different way by our collaboration with the organizations that we are trying to collaborate with, that I have mentioned in my at the beginning of this presentation. The primary student package includes essential supplies in the school bag, pens, books and stuff like that, teaching material, and this is £50. The teacher package is £100. In terms of the higher education student packages, we have each student, we mentioned the release of certificates. Now, the top priority of the higher education student packages are 1,000 nurses that are urgently in need of releasing their certificates. Let me explain what that means. This means that the Gaza universities, they allow students to study throughout all of the journey to study because of the situation in Gaza, because what happened before this current war was actually more wars before this war. Students were unable to pay the fees, but they would like to study. So the universities will allow them to actually study, but then the certificate at the end is not released unless they pay their full fees. And that's the biggest challenge now for the universities. We have 1,000 nurses that are in urgent need to go down to the field and treat patients. We have averaged Some of them have one semester, you know, on hold. I mean, in terms of the fees, some of them will have 3 semesters and so on. But on average, we have a deficit of 2,000 pounds per nurse that is in urgent need for the 100 nurses. Sorry, 1,000 nurses. That is really a large sum of money. I'm going to test my maths now of how much will that be if someone can help me. And then the laptops for students in higher education. As you are aware, we need laptops for students to study. However, we are not providing students with individual laptops because that is going to be very expensive. We are providing, we are working with Dr. Imad Ramadani that I spoke about early on, who set up these hubs in Gaza, where these hubs will provide electricity and Wi-Fi connection for them to be able to come and work. So we are liaising with Dr. Imad and the hubs that he has already. He's got 12 hubs around Gaza and he's creating more. So we are liaising with him so as we are not going to reinvent the wheel. That's why we've got these collaborative initiatives around Gaza. And we are going to buy these laptops and place them on lending kind of machines or something like that to be able to use the laptop for as many students as possible. The mobile clinic is our long-term project. As you are aware, hospitals in Gaza were deliberately targeted and destroyed, and probably the most kind of part of the society where the vulnerable women and children who were pregnant or giving birth, thousands and thousands of new babies were born during this war. And obviously, as you are aware, they did not receive the right care, the right cleanliness, the right, environment for them to be able to raise up these new babies. So we are hoping for the mobile clinic to be set up soon, hopefully within the next couple of months. We are not ready for it yet because it needs quite a lot of preparation. We are starting with the online courses though, with Dr. Hajar, who is going to deliver courses to midwives and also to nurses who to train them to how to deal with a war zone kind of situation specifically for children and women's health. The individual share of that is £200 and can be paid either on a continuous basis or a one-off payment. I have reached the end of our presentation and we're gonna call upon you to visit our website, which is still under construction, but it has been launched, but it is not completed. So please bear with us until we manage to finish it off. But the basics is there, but it's not in full shape yet, especially for the sponsorship packages and connecting that with our bank account. So for now, my colleagues here, the executives, have pasted our bank details. So please copy that and support us by bank transfer for now until our website is ready for sponsoring our packages. Thank you very much. And I'm going to open now the floor for questions. Let me just check the time. Oh, we are past the time that we were supposed to end. So apologies for that. But I can take maybe 1 or 2 questions if any are there.
There's Munia.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for the initiative and thank you for allowing us to hopefully help. Dr. Abir, you mentioned a form at the beginning that we should fill for volunteering. Is it something we're going to receive by email or?
Yes, so everybody who has attended, so you're talking about this.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody who has participated in this meeting will be receiving the form for them to be able to support our initiatives, and hopefully that will create the ability to fill that form, and then we will be able from that to create the network we are hoping to create. If you are interested, please, let us know. And we are collating this data at the moment. Everybody on the call, everybody registered, they will receive this form and it will be detailed. The reason we have not publicized it yet is because the universities have different needs, and we are trying to capture the needs, match that with the speciality. Tell us about yourself. What is your speciality?
Yes, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Munia Ziad. I'm originally from Algeria. I did my engineering. I'm an engineer by training. I did my engineering degree in Algeria, and then I moved to France to do a master and PhD in cognitive science. So I do a lot of research, and I'm an active researcher in human touch. And I did work with deaf-blind and blind people, building. I don't know if you're familiar with the word haptics. My expertise is human touch. So I develop haptic devices for visually impaired, but I also am a cognitive scientist. So I've been teaching in psychology, neuroscience, engineering, computer science. So I have a very multidisciplinary background, and I'm based in Boston. I'm an associate professor at Bentley University.
Wow, amazing. That's exactly what we need. Thank you very much for getting in touch and being here with us tonight. Well, it's daytime, I think, there.
Yeah, it's daytime, and I think we are, by heart, we are all Palestinians.
Oh, thank you very much. I mean, the people of Algeria are at the forefront of supporting Palestine, and I applaud our trustee Fulla here, who's Algerian, and the people of Algeria. You know, they have suffered a lot to liberate their country. So thank you very much for joining us, and please spread the word with your friends. And
Inshallah, Palestine will be free.
Thank you, thank you very much.
And Fiona Oster, did you want to speak, Fiona?
I
mean, I'm actually speechless at the moment, having listened to the stories and the background and the context this evening. It's just been hugely insightful. But definitely, I'm very keen to assist in any way that I can. My background as an academic is in business, but my specialist areas are entrepreneurship, business strategy, and innovation management. I've done a wealth of other things as well, but so hopefully in some way I can be of use to, and I'll certainly be filling in the form.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We've got Muna Yunus.
Yes, this is Muna Yunus, from an Egyptian living in California. I just wanted to say that I was working previously with in Najah University for an initiative. It seems it got for some reason discontinued or something, but I built a huge team of Arabic-speaking PSS experts who have been working before in Syria, in Palestine, in Jordan, and who could help in providing, I think, the second and the third layer of what Allah has explained to us. And the team is there. It was at that time a team of 14, but I think now I'm not sure how many are still ready to and still available. That's part of what I'm doing as Beyond Borders consulting corporation in California. But beyond that, I personally I have a PhD in education emergencies from the UK, and have been working with UNRWA before in teaching the teachers during the pandemic to move online. So I know exactly how to train and teach and mentor teachers, instructors, professors to do the work during emergencies using technology in a more motivating and constructive manner. So these are two different things I think can be done. I just wanted to say that I think that this meeting here has shown that there is a lot of expertise. It's not just the money that is needed. I do think also expertise and help and support of with our knowledge, what we have could help somehow in supporting. Yes, money is important. I don't say anything against that, but I do think adding on top of that is making use of our expertise.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
That is lovely. Thank you very much for your participation, Muna. I think your camera is on the other side on your so It's okay, no worries, don't worry. Thank you very much. Anyone else is interested to say something before we close off the meeting? And I'm sorry that we kind of ran over time, but if you have anything to say, anything to add, please let us know now. Otherwise,
The chat has asked if the recording will be uploaded on the website.
the recording is going to be, well, the recording is going to be sent, we will upload it to our YouTube channel and then share it on the website, and also send the link to everybody who participated, definitely. So yeah, we will be sharing that. Anything else? Well, I guess my wonderful team, does anyone of you would like to, I would like, to thank, the trustees and to thank the executives who worked hard on preparing for this launch day and night. And I honestly, thank them from the bottom of my heart, from the deepest part of my heart, because they've went, they exceeded all the miles that they speak about. And delivered all of that voluntarily. So anyone would like to say something? Jabin, who else is here? Noura, Sanjida, Ruba, who else? Anyone here would like to say something?
I think I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who came, because I know nowadays, there's so many initiatives pulling us in so many different directions, but the fact that people made the time to show up and really listen to our speakers and contribute their ideas, their questions and everything, it means a lot. And I think it makes the world of a difference, because this could just be, an initiative that stays with us and it wouldn't go too far. But I think it's the contributions of everyone who made the time today that's going to really take it far. So thank you so much to everyone who came. We appreciate it so much.
And Noura is a specialist in education, and she will be following up. She's already helping us with the website, so thank you for that. And Jabin Jabin, tell them about your expertise. You are an experienced lady. Tell them.
Hi, hello everyone. Just wanted to thank you for joining us. It really, really means a lot. And I'm basically a mental health worker. I'm working here in North London NHS, and I'm also a mental health mentor for students with disabilities. So my expertise is in psychology, and I'm really looking forward to learn from people like Dr. Ala about psychosocial support and trauma. So yeah, and thank you so much, the trustees, for giving me the chance to be a part of this organization. It really means a lot, and it feels so good to have a purpose and to be able to contribute to Gaza and to all the conflicted areas. So thank you so much, everyone.
Bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Emily or anyone else? We lost Ruba. She's left. But anyone else? That's it. Right. So I guess that's the end of our meeting. So on behalf of the trustees and the executive team and everyone who volunteered and supported Mothers of Hind, I would like to thank you all. And this is the beginning of hard work. This is just the launch. And hopefully after the launch comes the hard work. And we are looking forward to keep in touch and having you on board for our volunteers and our projects. Have a nice evening or day if you have still your daylight, and we shall see you next time. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you all. Bye.